Hi everyone. Please stop comparing yourself to others. You don't know how your path really was. All you know is about your path. Commit to making it great. Focus on competing with who you were yesterday and keep watching video. Three things to break through your failure. My name is Mujib. Have a great day.
I, if you can remember one. Oh, say it strong. Say I. Say I. What was that area? Say it out loud. What was the area? Just say it out loud. What area did you break through in? Say it out loud. What was the area? Okay? So now, you've had success before. Let's do it again. I'm going to show you the three things you need for a breakthrough. Any one of the three can do it. All three of them together, you will absolutely break through. And I'm going to give them to you in reverse order of importance, meaning I'm going to tell you the least important thing first because it's the first thing most of you go for. It's not the most important, but it's very important. Now, before I do it, I want you right now to think of an area you want to break through right now. What's an area of your life right now that you'd like to create a breakthrough? How many can think of something you came here for? I want to change this. I want to rip this open. I want to transform this. I want to master this. Who's got an area of your life right now? Great. Sit up in your chair with some energy right now. Sit up in your chair. Make sure the people on either side of you are in a peak state right now. Come on, get them up in a peak state. Show them what a peak state looks like by your example. Come on now. Come on now. Wake it up. Come on. Wake them up. Wake them up. Come on. Oh, yes. All right. Right now, pick an area you want to create a breakthrough in. What's an area you want to create a breakthrough in? Money, finance. Great. What specifically do you want to create a breakthrough about money or finance? I'd like some money. Now here's the problem. Ask and you shall. So if she says, I'd like some money, I could give her $1 and go, okay, now you got some money. Let's move on. If you're that general, you're probably getting what you're asking for. You just don't realize it because you're too general. What's the breakthrough you want with money? To be able to travel the world. And what prevents that from happening now? Money. So we now know what a real problem is. I'm going to show you what a real problem is in a moment. Somebody else, what's the breakthrough you want? What's the breakthrough? Tell me. Raise your hand. What's the breakthrough? What's the breakthrough you want, sir? What is it? To be a leader for my family. What's preventing you from being a leader for your family? My mindset. What specific mindset? What focus? I'm just not focused enough. Now, I want you to listen to people's answers because you're going to see why people aren't changing because it's so general. Someone else, be honest. What's the area you want to break through in? Yes, ma'am. What do you want to break through in? She goes, I want to break through in clarity of what I want to do with my career. What do you want to do with your career? You don't know. I know you don't know, but if you did know and had to tell me right now, what would you say? I want to be up there talking to thousands of people. She doesn't know, and then when I say, I know you don't know, what's the answer? She fucking tells me the answer instantly. She just has a habit of saying, I don't know. And when you say, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know, over and over again, you tell yourself a story, you begin to believe that story. And once you believe it, it's manifest. How many of you have ever had, when you're a kid, you're eating dinner, your parent says to you, could you get me the salt? And you're enjoying your meal, you don't want to get up, so you don't lie. You say, I don't know where the salt is. It's not a lie. You don't know its exact position in this moment of time. And your parent says, you know where it's in the kitchen. You go, I don't know where the salt is. You go get me I don't know, you get me the salt right now. What do you say in your head? As you walk in the kitchen, I don't know where the salt is, I don't know where the salt is, I don't know where the salt is. You open the cabinet, really do look. It's not here. It's on the second shelf, they tell you. You think, I don't know where the salt is, I don't know where the salt is. You look and say, it's not here. They come storming the kitchen, they reach right in front of your face, and they go, what is this? Who's ever had one of these experiences? Say, I. Now here's my question. Did your eyes see the salt, yes or no? Yes, your eyes saw the salt, but your mind did not allow you to perceive the salt because you told yourself a story over and over again, a belief over and over again, and it didn't want to make you a liar with yourself, so you created what's called a scotoma, or a blind spot. Now, if you listen to all the people here, they're all searching, so let me give you the answer. 3 keys to a breakthrough. Think of the area you want to have a breakthrough in right now. Your body, your money, your relationships, your career, your business, your joy, your happiness, and let's look at what your choices are. First element, there are 3 S's for a breakthrough. First element most people are looking for is they're looking for the right strategy. They're saying, if I could find the right strategy, I could get this result right now. And by the way, my life, I am a life and business strategist. All I do virtually is seek out the world for fine strategies. I find people have been together for 60 years and they don't just love each other, they're intimate, they're passionate, they make love. And I want to know, what do they have different than other people? And I don't think it's luck, and I know it's not luck, and I figure out what their strategies are. They do things that excite each other. And I find out what those things are, and you can put them in anybody's relationship and it's reignited. I find people, I just got done doing a 4-year project where I interviewed 50 of the most wealthy human beings on earth, the greatest investors in history. And these are all people that started with nothing and became multi-billionaires. And I interviewed them, put it inside the book, the very best of what I've learned. I got a PhD from the people that control the world economy, from the Warren Buffetts of the world, from the Ray Dalias of the world. And once I knew what their strategies are, like right now, one of the strategies I put in my book, it's called Money Master the Game. And I believe it's in Australia now. I think it's coming. Is it here yet? A few of you have seen here? In this book, I got one of them to actually give me his strategy. And this man named Ray Dalio, he's the largest hedge fund in the world. This is a guy that rich people, they have money to give to a hedge fund guy. The big hedge funds are 15 billion. Ray is 160 billion. He's 10 times larger than anyone on earth. You have to have $1 billion net worth and give him $100 million 10 years ago to even begin investing with him. Now he doesn't care how much money you have, he won't take your money. And I got him to give me the strategy that he has all of his personal money and he's never told it to anyone on earth. And I put it in the book because I convinced him you're not taking anybody's money anyway. So you're not getting, all the money you could ever take, you're taking. You're giving up half your net worth. I'm going to give this to the average person. Anybody that followed the strategy last year beat the stock market. The stock market in the U.S. was 13.2. It did 15.6. In October last year, his strategy, not mine, I just got it from him. The stock market, the Dow dropped 1,000 points in 1 month. It dropped 6%. This went up 0.2%. First 7 days of this year, the market was down 3%. This is up 1%. Right now, it's up 3.5%. The market's up, 2.25%. And in the last 75 years, it's made money 85% of the time. Imagine. And when it lost, it only lost 1.6%. And when it wins an average of 10%. If you could go to Vegas and win 85% of the time at 10% and lose 15% of the time, how often would you fucking play? And it's in the book. That strategy you do once a year, you rebalance it, and you're done. That's how powerful it is. And it's only not worked twice, 2008 and in 1932. And in both cases, it did twice as good as everything else, but it did lose money. Now, that's the power of a fucking strategy. But getting it from the best on earth, that's what I do. Now, to do that, I spent time, energy, money, effort. It didn't interrupt me. I had to pursue it. I had to expect no answers, but I want the answer, and I got it. So I know the power of strategies if anybody else does. But I want to tell you, most of you want to lose weight, you're looking for the strategy. You want a relationship, you're looking for the strategy. You look at business, you want your strategy. All good things. The right strategy, save you years, save you decades. Convert results in minutes that you would have struggled for forever. So I know the value of strategies. But with all that I just said about strategies, they're not the most important piece to a breakthrough. Because think about it, 70% of the United States is overweight. I don't know the current number in Australia, but it's starting to catch up to the US. Most of the world is catching up to the US. We've polluted everybody else with the same lifestyle. And so guess what? Is it really that hard to be fit and strong? Is it so complex that you'll never understand it? Is that why? Is the strategy complex for fit and strength, to be fit and strong, yes or no? Is it like so unique and special that only the 1% can afford it? No. In fact, don't you have to work your ass off to avoid the information that can make you fit and strong? In fact, today, God forbid, if you wanted to go work out and be trained, how far would I have to leave this building to get to a place where they would train me? How far? There's one right over there, isn't there? And we'd probably drive there. God forbid we'd actually walk to the place we're going to work out and shit, right? And oh, by the way, you don't have to do that. Now you can take out your phone or your iPad right now and download 10 books. We live in a world where the strategies are all around you. So strategy may be your problem. Often it is. But more often you're missing the number 2 thing you need. And that is the right story. Because the story you have about your life, about your business, about The area of your life that's not where you want, the area you're breaking through, your story is what's making you be stuck. What's a story? It's a belief that you tell yourself over and over again, like, I don't know what the salt is, I don't know what the salt is. And you tell the story so often you believe it. A man once said, you tell a lie big enough, loud enough, and long enough, sooner or later people will believe you. Who said that? Hitler. And most of us are Hitler in our own minds. We convince ourselves of challenges. So when a person says, well, you know, I've tried, someone who hasn't lost weight, they'll say, I've tried. Come on, what do they say? I tried everything. Bullshit. If you tried everything, you'd be fit and strong. Well, I've tried thousands of ways. Thousands? Name them. Well, I've tried hundreds. Name them. Well, I've tried dozens. Name them. Well, I did do these 2 stupid things that don't work over and over again. Mine was, I'm big boned. I am big boned, but I was 38 pounds heavier with the same bones. So we often say things that are true to back things up. They are true, you're big boned, but that is not why you're fat, right? So the story keeps us from it. If you don't have the relationship you want, what's the story? All the good ones are gone, and they're gay and I'm not, or they're not gay and I am. That's the story. The story is there. In fact, write this down. The only thing keeping you from getting what you want, the only thing keeping you from getting what you want is the story you keep telling yourself about why you don't have it. The only thing keeping you from getting what you really want is the story you keep telling yourself about why you don't have it yet. Here's what I say. Divorce your story and marry the truth. Divorce your story and marry the truth. And don't make it one of those divorces where you revisit with your old past belief system again. Divorce it, cut it off, and marry the truth. The truth will set you what? But you got to develop the empowering story, because without that, now some of you think an empowering story is the one that allows you to keep going at what doesn't work. I'm not talking about a story where you cover your ass and explain that you're still going to achieve what you want someday in the future, because no one can argue with that because the future's not here, but really you're not doing anything to change significant. Who knows what I'm talking about here? Say I. So you've got to find a story that's going to empower you to act, a story that's going to get you to find the breakthrough, because otherwise, with a lousy story, you'll never find the strategy, or you'll come up with a reason why it's too expensive, you can't get there, you can't access it, or you'll even get the strategy and then half-assed apply it just so you can reward your story that says it doesn't work because I tried it. Like, it's all bullshit, it's bullshit, it's bullshit, it's bullshit. Jumping and doing something different in your head. Of course it's not going to work, you're not doing it. It's self-fulfilling. How many follow this? Say I. So I want you to get, this is the secret. And by the way, I don't want to make it so strategy doesn't matter, because it does. Let me give you a quick example. Is there a single guy here? Raise your hand if you're a single guy. Let me just see a quick example. Single guys here. And if you're a single guy, raise your hand. I've got so many good examples here. All right, single guys, single guys. Okay, so how about this gentleman right here? Stand up, sir. Give him a hand. Give him a hand, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, give it up in an Aussie hand. All right. What's your name? What is it? Jesse. Jesse, I'm going to get your microphone. Jesse, I bet you're going to get this, because Jesse's he's a good kid. You can feel him. So I think you're going to get the answer. So it'd probably be anticlimactic, but let me just ask you. Jesse, I want you to imagine that you're driving in your car with a girl you're dating. Yeah. And as you're driving, she says to you, Jesse, do you need to stop to pee? And you know you don't. What do you say?
Well, I don't need to pee. Like,
I don't need to pee.
What a weird thing to ask.
I don't need to pee. Now, ladies, how do you feel when you ask the guy, do you need to pee? Do you need to stop to get a drink? And he just goes, no. Ladies, make a sound of how that makes you feel. Make a sound. Go. Oh, come on. Make it loud so he hears it. Go. One more time.
Do I need to ask if she needs to pee? So.
It's a quick study. Here's what you're missing. This is why you're single. When a woman asks, do you need to stop for a drink, do you need to pee? Women don't really mean what they say. They give you clues and want you to be a detective and uncover what they mean, because this proves that you really care. It's quite complex, this shit, but I'm going to educate you right now. So when she says, do you need to stop to pee? Your response should never be no, because you don't have to pee, or yes, because you have to pee. Your response should always be, honey, do you need to pee? And then she'll say, I don't know, because women need to talk to see if they have to pee. They have to speak, and then see if they have to do it. And then she'll probably pause and you go, you know, honey, I think we should stop. Don't make her say yes, you just make it happen. Now, ladies, if you did that, give him a little response. So is this man, is this a good young man? Is he yes or no? Is he nice? Is he sweet? Is he kind? He just doesn't fucking know that women don't mean what they say. So he doesn't have the right strategy, so she's gonna be pissed at him. How many guys have ever had a woman suddenly be pissed at you and you're going, I did nothing? Gentlemen, make some noise. Make some noise if it's true. You don't have to do anything. They just get to change states. So what you have to do is read the tea leaves. Now, to be fair, let's give Jesse a big hand. Give him a big hand. To be fair, let's balance it out. Where is a single lady in here? Single lady, raise your hand. Single women, raise your hand. Oh, come on, there's more single ladies. Single ladies, single ladies, single ladies, single ladies, so many. Single ladies. Okay. So many great choices. So many choices. Okay. All right, give her a hand. What's your name? Where are you from?
My name's Liz. I'm from Sydney.
It's Liz from Sydney, ladies and gentlemen. No, you didn't hear me. I said it's Liz from Sydney. Let me hear you. Okay, Liz, I'm going to give you a little test. You find a man very attractive. You're very interested in him. You develop the courage to go up to him, start a conversation, and then you say to him, hey, listen, would you like to have lunch maybe next Thursday? And he says, no.
Right.
What does it mean?
Probably.
Honestly, what does it mean? What does your gut say it means? First, he says no.
He's not interested.
He what?
He's not interested. He doesn't want to have lunch with me.
He's not interested. Now, he said no, and then she made up a whole fucking story in her head. This is what women do. What else do you tell you? He's not interested? What else do you think? He's probably
got a girlfriend.
Got a girlfriend. Fucking gay.
He's gay.
Yeah, right? Gay girlfriend. What else?
He's stupid.
He's stupid. Okay, now I want you to notice why she's single. Because all he said was no. So I'm going to help you. In the women's world, they say shit and you have to make it up what it means. In a man's world, we actually say what we fucking mean. It's fucking crazy. If a guy, guys, are you with me? If a guy says to me, do you have lunch on Thursday? And I say, no, guys, what does it fucking mean? What does it mean? Just means no. It doesn't mean I'm not into you. Doesn't mean I'm having sex with someone else. Doesn't mean I'm gay. It just means no to fucking Thursday.
How about Friday?
Give her a hand, ladies and gentlemen.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Give her a hand.
Stand a little taller. Doesn't mean I'm lonely when I'm alone. What doesn't kill you makes you fighter. What does keep it lighter? Doesn't mean I'm over.
Can you see how her story would get in the way of a strategy that would work? Yes or no? Can you see how his strategy, lack of understanding, would make women make up a story about him at times? Yes or no? So they all affect each other, don't they? But the glue that holds you in place is the story. If you want to grow a business, I can teach you a million strategies that will change you overnight. And if I get you to use a strategy and grow your business 30% like that, you are going to get so excited that your story about your business will change, won't it? You're like, I can rip this open. I'm going to make this thing 100% more profitable. That's why 80% of those people, I can grow them 30 to 130%. Because once I get them to have momentum, people's story changes. And when their story changes, the third and most important thing changes, their state. Because that's what really changes it all. And that's why when I first came in the audience, I was listening to what you wanted, why I changed all my content today to give you what I delivered. Because I realized since you want so many different things, to have a breakthrough, the most important one is state. The day that I became wealthy, I'll tell you the day, I know that day I was rich. I was broke. I was pissed. I was angry at everybody else but who? Myself. But really underneath it, I was mad at myself. I just couldn't beat myself up anymore, so I was pissed. And I had a friend that I loaned money to when I had barely enough, and I knew he needed it. And I gave him $1,200, and I'm here not able to eat. I'm down to like $25, $26. And I'm saying to him, calling him, and he's not returning my call. And I just need some money, and he's ignoring me. I didn't ignore him then, so I'm pissed. I'm frustrated. In the midst of all this, I'm also pragmatic. I got 25 and change, call it $26. What the hell am I gonna do? I don't have any plans for economics. I got overhead that's crazy. I'm living in this little tiny apartment, 400 square feet in Venice, California. So I thought, okay, when I was totally broke early on when I was 17, I used to save my money up and go to the smorgasbord and load up for Christmas, load up for the week. So I said, I was in Venice. I'm gonna go over to Marina del Rey where all the yachts are, and there's a place there called El Torito. And I'm gonna go, they have an all-you-can-eat smorgasbord. I'm gonna load up for the winter. I'm gonna get there. So I didn't drive there because I wasn't gonna spend the gas to get there, plus I needed to walk, so I walked there. And I go in, I'm not dressed really great, but it's Marina del Rey, it's okay. And I got a place right by the window, and I can see these yachts going by, and I'm dreaming of what life could be like, and I'm starting to let go of my anger, and I'm starting to focus on what I want instead of what I don't want. How many followers say I? And that shifted me just a bit. And now I'm eating, which shifted me a lot. And I got this giant plate stacked up. And I don't know what the amount was. It was like, whatever it was, $6.95, $7.95, right? So I'm gonna do this. I could probably do this 3 or 4 times, right? Somewhere in that range. As I'm finishing my meal, this little boy comes in, dressed in a little suit. And I honestly don't know how old he'd be, probably in the 3rd grade. So maybe 8 years old, 9 years old, something like that. And he was so adorable. And he opened the door for his mother. And his mother was an attractive lady. And he came over and he pulled out the seat for her, and she sat down. And she was a pretty lady, but as pretty as she was, I was totally obsessed by this boy. He had presence at 7 or 8 years old. And it moved me. I don't know why, it moved me. And I thought, this kid is like pure. I want him to always be this way. He's such a good kid, he's a giver. So I got up and I paid for the meal, and whatever it was, $6, $7. So now I've got whatever left, $17, $18, $19. And I walk up to this little boy, and I said, excuse me. And I said, I just want to acknowledge you for being such an extraordinary gentleman. I said, I saw the way you treated your lady, how you opened the door, how you pulled the chair out. I said, that's class. I said, my name's Tony, what's yours? I don't honestly remember his name, Charlie or something. And he looked up at me, and I said, Charlie? I said, that's amazing, taking your date out for a lunch like this. He goes, well, actually, she's my mom. And I said, that's even more cool. And he said, oh, but I'm not taking her lunch because I think he said he was 8. I said, oh, yes, you are. And I had no plan for this. I just reached in my pocket. I took all the money I had left, $17, $18, $19, and I put it on the table. I said, you're taking her to lunch. He looked up at me and he goes, I can't take that. I said, sure you can. He said, why? Because I'm bigger than you are. And he smiled real big, and I didn't even look at his mom. I just turned and walked away. And I didn't walk out of that door. I flew home. I should have been freaking out. How the fuck am I going to eat? But I didn't. I flew because something inside of me had finally got past scarcity. Had finally realized there's something inside of us more than our limits, especially around this thing called money that I had let terrorize me. And I got home, and the mailman came that day, and I had no idea I was going to have my next meal. And a letter comes, and it's from the guy I loaned the money to. A handwritten note saying, I've been avoiding you. It's wrong. I'm so sorry. You were there when I needed you. Here's what I owe you plus a little bit more. And the $1,200 was there, plus another $100 for the time that I had to take care of it. And for me, $1,300, that was enough to run my show for a month or two. And I cried. And then I decided, what does this mean? And I thought, this means that whenever you give, it's always going to come back, so you don't have to ever think about that again. Just give. And the rewards will be greater than you can ever imagine. I don't know if that's coincidence. But I decided to believe that day was a blessing when I became rich. And I can tell you honestly, I've had tough days in my life, economically, emotionally, like all of us. But I've never gone back to that scarcity. I never will. The secret to living is giving. Do it when you don't have it, and I promise you, scarcity will leave your life. Sometimes we get in our head there's one way, and if we don't get that, if we don't get that money, or if we don't get that job, or if we don't have this relationship a certain way. So what you have to do is set a goal. You got to say, okay, if you looked at your relationship and you went, okay, we have so much love and certainty, but there's not enough variety and significance, then what are you going to do to create some variety and significance? And you start coming up with all these cool ways to do it, and it becomes a game. And when you start doing that, now your relationship is pure magic, because now it's meeting your needs for certainty and uncertainty and significance and love. And anything meets at least how many needs? How many? Will become an addiction. Do 4 or 5. If you're in a relationship with somebody and you meet one of their needs, you're going to have an acquaintance. You meet 2 of their needs, you're going to have a friend. You meet 3 of their needs, you're going to have a deep friendship or love. You meet 4 of their needs, it's going to be a deep love. You meet 5 or 6 of their needs, you're going to have a love slave. They ain't going anywhere. But it's got to be you meeting their needs, not the other way around. And then you can educate them to meet your needs. You can help them to show them what works. But first you meet their needs, because you're loving them. Love is not a trade. You need an excuse to feel good. What if I don't need an excuse to feel good? I can just feel good for no good reason. How many like this idea? Say aye. Now notice when I first said it, you guys are kind of quiet, processing it. Like, I don't need a reason to feel good? Oh, how do I know to feel good? Some people say that sounds really naive. Really? Most people don't need a reason to feel bad. How's it going? Feel like crap. How come? Woke up. And people go, I understand. What if you went to somebody and said, how's it going? They go, I feel so great. How come? I don't know. I just feel good. You go, take that guy to the psychiatrist. Right? They're manic. They're crazy. But somebody else who's depressed and angry and frustrated, you think that's totally normal. That's the cultural hypnosis that we've all been in, no matter what country we live in. People come to me all the time, and they'll come to me like this, and they'll go, Mr. Robbins, I don't know what it is. I just feel down all the time. Why do you think I feel that way? Someone say, I feel so up. Why do you think I feel so up all the time? I don't know. Maybe it's your body. People come up to you and they go, Mr. Robbins, I don't know what it is, but for some reason, I'm angry all the time. Do you know what it is? Perhaps it's your face. See, do we get in habits of using our body, our face in a certain way over and over again? Yes or no? And those produce our emotion. Once you're in that state, you'll behave in a way that creates more of that emotion. When you're angry, you'll do things that make you more angry. When you're sad, you'll do things that make you more sad. When you're excited, you'll do things that make you more excited. How many follow? Say I. So the secret is to build emotional biceps, emotional fitness, by going in these states over and over again. Normally, when I'm trying to explain to someone what is an extraordinary quality of life, it's different for everybody, right? Really, an extraordinary life is life on whose terms for you? And so everybody in this room has a different model of the world of what that would look like. What would be an even more magnificent life? What would be an even more extraordinary life? There's only 2 master skills to do this, and I want to remind you of those 2 skills because it's still the 2 skills for life. What's the first master skill to having an extraordinary life? Do you remember? It's the science of achievement. If you're going to have an extraordinary life, one of the master skills for actually creating that life is mastering this. Mastering the ability to take what you envision and make it real. There's a science to achievement. There's a science to, for example, money. I just spent 4 years, as most of you know, interviewing 50 of the smartest people on the planet financially. I learned more than I ever imagined. I got a PhD in finance from the people that control the world economy. And they're all people that were not part of the lucky sperm club. I didn't interview anybody that got it from their family by birthright. I did it with people who all started with nothing. And I began to see there's common patterns. And once you know what those patterns are, I don't care if you're young or old. I don't care what your color is. I don't care what your gender is. I don't care what country you're from. If you understand the science of building wealth, you can have abundance financially. If you violate those rules, either because you're ignorant to them or because you just don't apply them, you're going to have financial stress. There's a science to the body. Everyone here is biochemically different, but there's certain fundamental rules, laws, that if you violate them, you're going to have a lack of energy. If you really violate them, you're going to have dis-ease in the body. That's what it means, dis-ease. It comes from violating those rules. If you align with the rules of achievement around the body, you'll have an abundance of energy. You'll feel strong. You'll have an extraordinary body and the extraordinary energy that comes with it. So, science of achievement is something most of you are quite obsessed by, or you wouldn't get to a room like this. But there's a second master skill to have an extraordinary life, and that second skill is the art of fulfillment. When I talk about the art of fulfillment, what I explain to people always is, I didn't say science of fulfillment. Why not? Because it's different for everyone, just like art. What one person thinks is beautiful, somebody else might think is ugly. So if you want to know what's beautiful, as many people there are on earth, it's an art because everyone has a different view. If you want to know what God loves, the universe loves, go to the forest and see it. It's called massive diversity. It isn't a science. It's an art. But that art, unmastered, will create an ugly life. An ugly life. And the phrase I use most often that I hope you've heard me say and you take it in once again maybe deeper is, success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. Success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. But if we don't physically make a decision how we're going to live, then we'll show up like everybody else because the human mind is not going to make you happy. This brain of yours won't do it. You have to direct it. And there's no worse fate than to achieve everything and not be fulfilled. How many have had the days where you achieved this huge goal and your brain always wanted it and you got it and then your brain went, is this all there is? Who's been there? It's the worst experience. It's worse than failing, isn't it? Because most of you are achievers, so failure never stops you. You just look at it as a little bump on the road. I'll try something, what? But when you succeed and you fail, when you succeed and you're not fulfilled, that's scary. A business has a purpose. The business is not about you. If you really have a successful business, that's how you know you have a business. It's about your clients. Some of you have fallen in love with your product, which will guarantee failure. You need to fall in love with your customer, or perhaps you need to fall in love with an ideal customer, not the one you have right now. In 2008, 2009, many businesses went under because they kept selling the same product or service instead of seeing what the customer needed today. Some went out of business because their customer had no money and they should have found a better customer, one that had money even in 2008 or 9. Here's the belief I'd like you to try on. I don't need an excuse to feel good. What if I don't need an excuse to feel good? I can just feel good for no good reason. How many like this idea? Say aye. Now notice when I first said it, you guys are kind of quiet, processing it. Like, I don't need a reason to feel good? Oh, how do I know to feel good? Most people don't need a reason to feel bad. How's it going? Feel like crap. How come? Woke up. In a moment, I like you to celebrate for no good reason just because you decided to. But I mean really celebrate. So you're going to rise up. Are you ready? We'll clap. When I yell 3, we go crazy. 1, 2,